I am Sammy Swim, and I am a white man.
I'm Ashonni, and I'm a black woman. I have found some stats on black women, and it shows that we are less likely to be married. 57% of us attend college, though. 22% of us have bachelor degrees out of 30% of women in total. And only 15% of us have less than a high school diploma.
While these statistics on black women mostly seem to be degrading or trying to lower them, the few statistics that we found about white men are quite on the contrary. Pretty much the only stats that we could find on the internet have to do with white men making more money, white men being more successful. Basically all because white men try to portray themselves as far superior to all other races, even though the statistics show that is not necessarily true.
And now, here comes the gender roles of women. Women, we're supposed to stay home, take care of the kids, cook, clean, be all emotional. But then we had a black women who we're supposed to be loud, angry, crazy, the sapphire. Or the one who takes care of all the kids and the son's children too, the mammy. Or the one that's only used for sex, the Jezebel.
And then there's the men who are strong, take care of the house, make the money, be independent, be unemotional. In comparison to the black women, or women in general, men are portrayed as stronger than them. Women are portrayed as weak, and men have to be strong to help the women, which in fact women are completely independent and don't really need anyone's help at all.
Especially in this day and age.
When women make their own money, women run their own households, women have their children and take care of them on their own, in reality, they don't need any man at all.
We have been taught as time progresses to be independent and not be so reliant on the male when they refuse to take up as their manly role.
And society is to blame for telling men and women what they have to do, what they have to act like, what they have to say, what they can and can't do.
Socially acceptable. As we come across many things, we start to realize that women are sexualized just too much. Every time you see a woman, she's half naked in anything that she's in, or she needs to be rescued. Why is it that a woman is only beautiful when she has no clothes on? Or can she be beautiful with clothes on? Why is she degraded if she chooses to not have clothes on? You notice that porn stars are praised, but yet if a woman is exposed, oh, she's the devil. Then what do we say? Why has society made it a point to where us women are so sexualized? Why is it that I can't go out into public and breastfeed my child without a man saying, oh, that's disgusting? They're meant for feeding, not for sex.
It is seen in movies that more than half of female characters presented in a movie are presented half naked or in a very sexualized manner, yet compared to 75% of all roles in films in 2011 were male speaking. So it's being presented the idea that women are seen, not heard. And whenever you see a woman, they're expected to be sexy or they're expected to be naked so that way they can please men, which are doing all of the talking and doing all of the work in the movies. Similarly, it is seen in children's video games, sort of the exact same idea, raising these young men and women from ages 4 and 5 to believe that women are completely reliant on men. Let's look at video game characters. Female characters are presented as weak, in pretty flouncy dresses that are damsels in distress just waiting for a male character to come and rescue them, while the male characters are presented in armor or with swords, things to fight, which gives girls the idea that they are nothing until a man comes and rescues them. So these ideas are being fed to them at such a young age, so they grow up to accept these ideals presented to them from American society.
So we have grown to notice that a man, he could be sexualized and be praised for it. Whereas a woman, if she were to go and do it, she would be dehumanized and degraded in the fact of being called a whore.
For example, this here is a man who is a professional surgeon and a doctor. He takes lots of pictures on the internet, either shirtless or in a very overtly sexual manner, and he is praised for it. Women love him, men love him, everyone thinks he's so quote unquote sexy, and he has even gone so far as to auction off a date with himself for money, for who knows what. But if a woman in the same position did the same thing, I would go to say that she would be called a whore, a slut, attention seeker, unprofessional. People would say that since she is a working woman in corporate America, this is not the type of behavior that would be tolerated. So why is it okay for this man and surgeon to take these kind of pictures and him be praised for it?
What's accepted for women definitely isn't really what's accepted for men. Men get away with many more things than women do. In the story Invisible Man by Ralph Ellison, we see that a lot. That how racism ties in and sexualization does too. In the beginning at the Battle Royale, a woman walked across the boxing ring naked. Just what a catch, right?
All the men were hooting and hollering and sexualizing us women, just as we see in today's society.
Always. Then we have True Blood, who was praised for raping his daughter. Praised.
Other men saw him as almost a god for doing something that they had wanted to do, but is definitely not what you're supposed to do.
At all. And then we have multiple accounts of racism of when these young men were called the N-word, nigger, all the time, and it was just plain out acceptable.